everyone. It's a glorious day today after wonderful rain, I have to say, personally for me. I like the sun better than rain, but I do love rain too. So yeah, today I thought it's a good thing to start talking about again some matted dogs. During the last month we've really had a lot of people saying to us that they want to shave their matted dogs, and often they are double coated dogs. So Megs, how should people treat their long-haired dogs? What's like the recipe for not getting hair matted?
So the most basic solution is obviously just brushing your dog regularly, which can obviously be difficult sometimes when you're living on a plot or a farm and they're racing around all day and running through bushes and things. But in order to prevent that really severe matting, I would say that brushing your dog maybe 3-4 times a week, you know, just to prevent any of that hair from really getting stuck in those mats. Because obviously, as you know, that the really severe matting is very uncomfortable for your dog. You know, the matting actually sits there and tightens and starts pulling the hair out from the root, which is obviously very painful for them. And it's also a mission to try and then solve that problem afterwards, because it's very difficult then to try and brush it out, because like I said, it's very uncomfortable for the dog, and too much brushing for the dog will actually lead to these kind of red, almost bruised areas of skin. So then what happens is then you end up having to shave your dog.
So one of the things is I saw somebody called me the other day to help them out, and they had a groomer in to come and shave their dog, and they said the groomer hurt the dog, which isn't always true, because if you don't know, you don't know what you don't know, right? So when a groomer comes in to shave your dog, they don't know what's underneath those knots. They shave the knots open. There could be hot spots under there could be like really red patches, and you as an owner could be like really surprised and go, but the groomer hurt my dog. And it's very possible that those marks and those sores were there before you even started. So what happens, so when is an early warning, or what is an early detection mode for these mats? And what sort of, apart from brushing, let's say I'm really lazy or just don't have time. Lazy isn't even an object always. Let's say I don't have time and I don't brush my dog regularly. What would be some indications that my dog's matting is actually worse than what it looks?
So the problem, when you know that your matting is becoming quite a serious issue, like you say, is when you notice that because it'll start in almost kind of dreadlocks, so it'll be very small sections of the hair that have started knotting together and forming these mats. But once they start joining up and creating these kind of larger areas of matting, where it almost starts forming a kind of fleece or a carpet type consistency all over your dog, and that's when you start, or your cat actually, that's when you can start kind of noticing that it's actually becoming a bit of an issue. And usually by that stage actually you'll probably have to shave. And once the mats start joining together and forming a sort of blanket over the pet, 9 times out of 10 you'll end up having to shave all of that hair off.
Yeah, and the same for long-haired cats actually. It's also, but cats' hair is slightly different to dogs' hair. We've discussed this before. So a friend of mine is a cat breeder, and she showed me once how to cut open the knots. It sounds terrible, but it's like a recipe to say, if you want to do it at home, make sure you're very careful and you cut into the knot but not into the skin, obviously. So is that something that we could tell our clients to do, maybe if there's big knots?
Absolutely. You can obviously do it yourself. There's a couple of things, obviously, like you said, you have to be very careful of catching the skin. So you have to make sure that when you are cutting through a knot, that your one hand is covering the skin that's kind of underneath the root of the hair, and that you're cutting with the scissors away from the skin. Just to ensure, especially with cats, they have very soft, supple skin, and it's very easy to accidentally cut into that skin without even realizing. And I know we've mentioned in a previous video that cats don't bleed. So specifically with cats, it is risky business, splitting open the knots. But if you are very careful and you obviously use scissors that have a rounded tip, then you should be fine.
You can do it. Otherwise, you can always call us. We can help you out. But in case of that emergency, with being the holidays coming up, pets going away with you,
and being at the beach.
Yes, and the beach, and they've got sand in those knots, and you know what that sand does to the hair, because it knots, and then you may not be aware of it, and there's sand in there, and it can actually irritate.
Gets sticky and
irritates the skin really badly. So just be aware and look after your animals and brush them regularly. Is that what we're saying, right? Yes, and call us. We can help you. Take care. Have a great day.
Cheers, everyone.
Bye.